topic tonight is managing risk and investment in uncertain times. And the aim of the seminar really tonight is to let you go away with a couple of decent nuggets for managing your money better for a better life. We have three key speakers: Colm McCarthy, whom I'll introduce in a moment; Sean Blake, the Investment Director at Acumen Trust and Beacon Trust, and he'll talk about diversification and the important factors in diversifying your portfolio. David Robb is going to talk about how you might actually do things in terms of selecting assets and spreading them around.
I want to tell you what I think the Eurozone crisis is about, how it arose, and where it is right now, and what way I think it's going to play out. I think that interest rates are not going to go up much in a hurry, but they could increase quite quickly if the European economy begins to recover.
Rather than stand here and talk about asset allocation of various asset classes that we may invest in, I'd like to take a step back and focus on how we actually make our investment decisions, some of the pitfalls and some of the behaviours that might make us more successful. I think there are three major considerations when anybody is talking about diversifying. They are exposure in line with your risk tolerance, composure and discipline. These are the three building blocks of any successful portfolio. Again, look, if we are diversifying, we'd like to avoid some common mistakes. I think before we commit our money, it's vital to understand what drives us to act the way we do. How do we get composure in financial investing? You buy when there's value, and you focus on the medium and longer term.
It's really about an appropriate investment strategy, and it's for you. It's your investment strategy, and it shouldn't be anything other than that. It's your own customised one. Reviewing personal circumstances, taxation, taking that into account, looking at your risk profile and the strategy for you, and basically selecting investments where, at the end of the day, every investment, if you take a certain amount of risk, you want to be happy that you're going to be rewarded for that level of risk you're going to take. You don't want to find that you're taking a level of risk and the assets you've selected have not given you good returns.
We don't think it's time to panic or run for the lifeboats at this stage, but I think when we listen to all of the presenters today, I think it's fair to say that they all spoke to some degree about the merits of diversification. The real key thing is when you invest or when you set up portfolios, you've got to get the foundations right before you recommend any specific investment. And you are the foundations, your risk profile. You've got to get that right first. The very last stage you should look at specific investments. I think if you could take that approach and invest in that way, what you'll do is you'll make much more confident decisions. And going back to Sean's point, you'll be much more composed when you take those decisions, and you're less likely to suffer from the behavioural frailties that we all suffer from. So ultimately, I think it'll make you a better investor.